So we have 7 intervals in a major scale: a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, a seventh, and an octave. But each of these intervals actually has 2 possibilities, okay? You can have a major interval or a minor interval. You can have a major second or a minor second. You can have a major third or a minor third. You can have a major sixth or a minor sixth. Major seventh, minor seventh. What is the difference between a major and a minor interval? And why? We have, in an octave, we actually have 12 different pitches, but we divide them up into 7 intervals, 7 scale degrees. The answer to why we do that is quite complex. I will not explain that right now. But for every interval, you have the option of having it be a half step higher or a half step lower. And let me kind of explain why or how. So with each pitch in a scale, let's take E for example. This is E. This is E flat. When you're reading music, those will look like the same note, right? So the E is on the bottom line of the treble clef staff. The E flat is also on the bottom line of the treble clef staff. So you can have a third between C and E, and it looks the same, music notation wise, as a third between C and E flat. Okay, so there are 2 different thirds with C and E. We call the bigger one major. It's major, it's big. We call the smaller one minor. It's not as important, it's smaller, okay? Major third, minor third. They're both thirds. They both have the same distance on paper when you're reading musical notation, but they're not exactly the same distance from each other. One is a half step higher, okay? So some of the intervals, because of tetrachords, because of I'm not going to explain that. Okay, some of the intervals are major and minor. Some of the intervals are perfect. So the intervals that are major and minor are seconds, thirds, sixths, and sevenths. Okay, so those can be major or minor. The intervals that are perfect are unisons and octaves. So this is a unison, this is an octave, and fourths and fifths. All right? So perfect fourths, perfect fifths, there isn't a major or a minor of a fourth. There's just a fourth. Same with fifths. There isn't a major or a minor of a fifth. It's just perfect. There is an interval in between these 2. The perfect fourth and the perfect fifth have an interval in between it. And that unique interval is so unstable that we actually give it its own name. It's called a tritone. Tritone.